I know I may be super late on this. I just haven't had time to get around to it, but NBA 2K19. I don't even know really why they put the game out. It was supposed to be like the holy grail of 2Ks because they had the neighborhood and they seemed to, oh, we finally got my park down and everything like that. But nothing of the sort. NBA 2K19 is really a game when I look at it. It's more like of a VC trap. Basically, instead of being like a highly sophisticated basketball simulation, it's more of a highly sophisticated basketball social media game, so to speak. Because you're in the neighborhood, you're creating your players, you're playing my park. The emphasis on the gameplay has really taken a hit. And if you guys don't remember the first 2Ks, which were on Dreamcast, only reason we played 2K is because they had the best gameplay. Hands down. They had guys like Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. These guys would do tomahawk dunks, left hand dunks, right hand dunks. In the park when you went to the Rocker Park, Hollycomb Park, these guys would do east mains between the legs in the park. See what I'm saying? Like it had different animations. Of course, you know it was Dreamcast, so there was only that one B button to do the spin or whatever. And sometimes you could do a crossover. Sometimes depends who you had. If you had AI or whatever the case is. Excuse me. But as 2K got better, 2K9, 2K11, they really hit the mark there. You know, 2K9 had Garnett on the cover. 2K11, I believe it was Jordan with everything. 2K10 with Kobe. Those 2Ks were pretty good. And then slowly but surely, the game started to degrade. The quality started degrading. And now we're here at 2K19. You're playing a game, and I like to play like on Hall of Fame and stuff like that. No matter what defense you're playing, the computer's scoring. And I played Hall of Fame on 2K17, 18, 16, stuff like that. And I've been able to basically slow down the computer. But this is like absolutely ridiculous. Like the defense in this game on both ends, it's hard for you to play defense, but the computer locks you up. Offensively, it's hard for you to score, but the computer scores at ease. You can run plays, you can try to run freelance, whatever the case is. Like 2K didn't really go into in depth about really bringing out great gameplay. And the reason I'm focusing on the gameplay is because if your gameplay isn't right, all your modes aren't right. So your My Park isn't right. Your neighborhood isn't right. Your season isn't right. Your all-time teams isn't right. Your My Team isn't right because the gameplay is off. You know, they moved the shot meter from the feet to the arm. Then what happened with that was people complained about that and said, we want the shot meter on the foot, so they had by the feet. So the 2K had to acquiesce and actually add a shot meter option to go to the feet. But now when you look at that, even that is a little off because it reminds you of 2K 16 or 15 where the little bar of the feet, they click like that. The bar goes halfway and then you have to like get it on the line. So I mean, that one in itself is really not appealing. The game overall and graphically, they should have did a better job. It looks like they rushed it. Only on the cutscenes you get like really nice kind of cutscenes, but the players look very cartoony. And they really just could have did a better job. Honestly speaking, the only reason why 2K is on the top of the basketball simulation is not because like the games like live aren't good. It's because the games like live just don't look as good as 2K. Like 2K took a step back graphically, and live's player models, they just don't match up to 2K's player models. That's all it is. If live could get better player models, or I don't know if 2K might have a patent on the player models. If live could have 2K's player models and get rid of all the arrow crap, people will play a lot more live than they'll play 2K. And now I see why a lot of people were saying earlier this year, or I mean last year, they were saying like 2K is dead, and the engineers and 2K developers aren't trying to revive it, because it really is. Like if you look at it, like, you know, since getting it, like none of my friends really want to hit up to go on to my parks or whatever the case is. It's just like all of the little gimmick schemes that they're trying to use, they're not appealing, and it really makes for a game that you want to turn off, which is kind of weird to say about NBA 2K because you guys remember, like I said, Dreamcast to all the other iterations, you be playing at your boy's house till the sun come up or whatever the case. So you playing online, talking smack with your friends. But now it's just turning more into like a social media kind of thing where post your highlights here or compete in here. And it's like this game, as unreliable as it is, for the NBA to make like a league about it is crazy because it's very inconsistent. So how do you make a league and try to pay guys professionally when the game isn't consistent within itself? The NBA already has trouble with consistency, with some of their rules. But like, imagine a game where people are betting hundreds of thousands of dollars, or they're going for that championship trophy or whatever the case is. That's horrible. But overall, if I had to give 2K a grade, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because it's not like as horrible as some of the other 2Ks because you got neighborhood and whatever the case is. But the gameplay, the graphics are not up to par as its previous iterations. Now it gets a 7 from me because it's like I'm comparing you to 2K17, I'm comparing you to 2K10, 2K11, 2K9 and stuff like that. And though the gameplay on those games were a lot better to me. Like now it's just like nothing works for you, and when it does work, you're basically at a guessing game. Like for example, they really gone from a release based shooting thing to a shot openness kind of strategy or philosophy, so to speak. So this is what that means is all the other games, all you have to worry about is getting your green release. Now with this game, not only do you have to worry about getting green release, you have to worry about what is considered open, what is considered contested. It's hard because sometimes you're coming off a screen, you think you're open, and then you look at the feedback, it says heavily contested. And then sometimes when you think that you're not open and you shoot it, it says, oh, lightly contested. Like, that's so weird within itself. It's basically what, to them, is like if you don't have a player right in front of your visage or your face, it's considered wide open or considered open. But then if he's on the side of you, it's considered not open. So their philosophy is completely off, and they just need to kind of dumb down that kind of philosophy. I like the shot openness kind of stuff. Maybe you give it a little bit more higher percentage. If somebody's taking a higher percentage shot, hey, you got a lot more leeway to make it. But the green release with the shot openness kind of philosophy, it's awful. It's awful. It's awful. Contesting shots is awful, especially like Hall of Fame. You get like you look at the feedback underneath the player's feet, it's red and it says that heavily contested, and the guy still makes the layup or he still makes the jumper in your face. It's very odd. It's very odd. 2K, they really need to go back to the drawing board. They need to get it together. 2K20, I'm expecting big things. Hopefully they take some suggestions into account. And also what they could do is sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Go back to your previous 2Ks and see what worked for you. What was great? What did people like? And bring that back to the forefront. Really bring that back to the forefront. Because some of the stuff here, I'm not really feeling it at all. It's awful. Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hooper. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know how you feel about NBA 2K19. Are you still playing it? Did you throw it in the trash? Let me know how it is.